cheerer. I actually think that's the first time anyone's ever cheered with an emote, which is more than which is like at the 1,000 marker, which is kind of sick because when they get to 1,000, I think they do look pretty cool. Thank you very much for the cheer 1,000, dude. So yeah, thank you very much again, guys. It's just been. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to pity whine. I don't want to take up too much time going into this game. But I just want to say, obviously, this was a really sick opportunity for me this week, being able to kind of cast these these games as basically the mainstream and all the rest of it and so on, and it was really awesome. And then we started having these issues, and it's just really been such a it's just been really such a shitty side effect to what's been such an amazing few days. An amazing few days, so. Again, I'm so sorry, guys. This has been kind of an issue that's persisted, and obviously it doesn't just affect me and kind of mess me up. It affects you guys because you miss the games. You miss the games. You have to reload the stream and wait for me to come back, and it's just been horrible. So I'm so sorry. Again, I mean, after today, I am just going to reinstall Windows. When I log off, I'm just going to actually just start transferring all of my stuff over to my other hard drive. Come in tonight, I'm going to just completely wipe my, going to reformat the hard drive that Windows installed on, and just sort of go from there, and just hopefully get everything redone. Because it's just been, I mean, this has just been absolutely stupid. It's just gotten to this point where it's not even, I mean, it wasn't funny in the first place, but it's just not interesting anymore. It's just completely dumb. So, so yeah, I'll reinstall. We'll go for Windows 8 or 7 instead of 10, because Windows 10 has just been an absolute bitch to me ever since I installed it. And hopefully we can get it fixed tonight. So, anyways, guys, to the bottom right-hand side is going to be the Red Protoss player Trap here in our second qualifying match of the day. This PvP. His opponent to the top left-hand side is going to be the pink Protoss player Zest. Let me just quickly update the title of the stream to Zest versus Trap. I also have no idea actually where the rest of the bracket is at right now. Let me do a quick refresh here. So Zest Trap in the qualifying match. Gumiho is waiting for either Bjorn, Lucira, or Deer in the bottom side of the bracket. And I think Stats is playing Classic as well. Winner of that plays the loser of Zest Trap. So some interesting matches here. We actually got a few matches still to go here today. So a few matches left to go, and we'll be setting it up to see how things will continue on as we go into this first game of the best of 5 PvP. I mean, both players setting up for a fairly early expansion, honestly, so far. So, setting up into that and having a little bit of a look to see what will happen over the next few moments. A couple of Adepts, a couple of Stalkers, a Sentry, gathering together for now. I'm just going to be seeing that rubber facility on the way for both players. Blink on the way from on the Twilight Council as well. And that's probably the main difference right now. Twilight Council from Trap here is just a little bit later. So again, this is a qualifying match. Winner of this joins Innovation from today's qualifier on the trip to Katowice. I mean, I think a lot of people will be, you know, cheering on, Zest in this series. But Trap's always been a sick underdog in the Korean scene. Someone you never really kind of have on your radar to do super well, and then he just comes out of nowhere, wins tournaments, gets to the finals or very high placings. Very solid player. So yeah, just going to be seeing the Hallucinate Phoenix, Hallucinate Oracle actually going to come out. Trap's just going to maybe try and pull Zest away a little bit. I mean, Zest is doing the exact same thing. Just going to be seeing this Oracle come forwards, and it's not really going to be able to do much at all, so Zest just moving forwards and seeing not really much over that. And this hallucination going to come back up towards the upper left hand side, so really looking to see what's going on. Going to see another charge coming down. It's going to see the Oracle does end up getting cleaned out, so Oracle getting picked off here, and Zest just still looking around to see what's up and what is happening. Forge coming into play from Zest, as we do see the +1 upgrade on this Forge is building up from Trap already. So I mean, it's still very similar from both players so far. Really no difference between them. I mean, there are slight differences between them, slight timing differences, but they're both heading in towards the same sort of setup. They're both going into it in the same sort of manner. And again, very slight timing differences here and there, but that really is about it. So, mostly heading in towards the same mid-game, and that's going to be interesting to see kind of where they do match up against each other. You can see Zest understanding where this is going to go, dropping down that Robo Bay already in the main base, so dropping the Robo Bay down and looking to see what will happen. So still just a few units moving around from Zest and looking to see what's up. We're actually going to see this Observer getting caught, so that's really nice. Picking off an Observer for his opponent, just getting rid of some of this information. He's going to be seeing Zest just pushing down in towards the center of the map. You'll see Stalkers, a few sentries, and this Immortal all moving in towards the center as well, so just going to be seeing our Red Protoss player. We're going to see what is going on. I mean, both players actually going to get a little bit aggressive right now, which is intriguing because neither of them really want to, I think, commit to this. You see Zest already going in towards the second Robo facility. His first Disruptor about to pop. I'd give Zest the slight edge because, again, he's setting up into this Disruptor tech a little bit sooner and a little bit better overall with the second Robo coming up. The Stargate 2 will allow him to go in towards the Oracle, and this Oracle is going to be very important. The Revelations will give him a good idea as to where his opponent's army is, and he can go from there and really work that out and figure it out as the game goes on. So we're just going to be seeing this group of Stalkers, Sentries, and a couple of Immortals continue to move around. And it's going to be seeing the Stargate about to finish up here from Zest. He's going to be seeing these Stalkers just looking to see what they can get up to, trying to do a little bit of something here, but doesn't really find much at all. Continue to push forward. We're going to see a Force Field coming down. Disruptor Shot doesn't reach anything, but he does pick off a Sentry nonetheless. And again, I feel as though Zest taking some nice little skirmishes so far. Going to give up his +2 attack upgrade. That means Frap is going to start his, but Zest won't start his own because, again, he is investing a lot more money into the Oracle right now, the double Disruptor as well. I mean, it's interesting because upgrades do kind of play a role in this matchup, in this composition, but not so much as the Disruptor count can play. It really depends on how an engagement goes. If Disruptor shots connect well, then upgrades don't really matter. But if the upgrade, if Disruptor shots kind of whiff and it comes down to Stalker on Stalker and the Disruptors die on either side, upgrades become very important. So it's kind of hard to say, like, what is the better option? Well, it does just come down to the fight, and I mean, you can't really tell, it's one of those difficult things to judge. I mean, Zest isn't going to be too much further behind his +2, so I don't see it being a major issue. As we're going to be seeing these group of units just gathering up, Zest will start to push on through the center of the map here. I'm just going to be seeing Zest again coming through the center, looking to see what is going to happen. So moving down through the center, we're going to see Stalkers, a couple of Immortals, and a couple of Sentries down to the bottom right-hand side. A fourth Nexus on the way down from Zest as well. I'm just going to be seeing another pile on just the right-hand side of this Nexus 2. Who's well, actually Stalker's just blinking forwards, getting a shot off onto an Oracle, but that's about it. Pulling back down towards the right a little bit here, and you see a fourth Nexus dropping down as well for our Protoss player right now. So dropping this fourth Nexus down, and we're just going to be seeing these Stalkers getting rid of that hallucinated Phoenix up in the skies. There's a Revelation from the Oracle. Oracle actually getting shot down by the Stalkers there, and again, the rest of these units just gathering together, having a little bit of a think as to what they may be able to get into. Oh, the Disruptors from Zest are going to connect there because he gets the shot off a little bit faster, and that is what he needs. One Disruptor shot to take down two Disruptors. Is able to cancel his opponent's fourth base with the position he takes on the map and trap in the meanwhile. He's unable to do anything about the fourth base of Zest. His army getting revelated as well, so now Zest knows exactly where it is, and so far, clean, crisp PvP from our Protoss player in the pink. Zest looks to know he's knowing what's going on. And we've seen the few cannons going to come up to this right-hand side, so they're going to start setting up just in front of this Nexus. Again, a couple of Disruptors just sat behind the cannon wall that's been set up. As now we're going to be seeing Zest changing direction with this attack, linking forwards, taking off a lone Stalker, which is Revelate, and just sat on its own on the right-hand side, kind of just asking to die in a little bit, in a way. And we're going to see these Stalkers blinking forwards, and we're going to see this Oracle very nearly getting taken down. So Oracle very nearly going down, and we're just going to be seeing these few Stalkers still blinking around from Zest around the left-hand side of the map here. So they're still blinking around, looking to see what is going on. I'm just going to be seeing Zest gathering up with a few more units, Stalkers, Immortals, and Disruptors, all gathering up together, and we're just going to be seeing Stalkers and Immortals, a couple of sentries on the left-hand side. I mean, both players being very cautious right now with how they move around the map, and again, one disruptor shot can change this game in anyone's favor very, very swiftly, so they do all want to be careful. As Revelation coming down again, Oracle getting shot down, and again, Zest actually has another one ready to go already, drops another Revelation. I wonder if that Oracle just then didn't drop a Revelation, but just instead flew over the army accidentally. Disruptor fires a shot forwards. Another Revelation. Really just continue to drop these so frequently as Zest. I mean, vision is everything. Knowing where that army is key to success in this matchup, and that's exactly what he's aiming for once more. As you see the attack coming down the side, and there's that Disruptor coming forwards. Doesn't hit on anything just yet. Another shot forwards now again. Disruptors will go off. Ooh, I think that's slightly faster for Zest, and he does pick off the Disruptor of his opponent, and well, this time it is going to be Trap to fire the shots earlier. But the fourth base, well, the fifth base I guess will be cancelled, because actually the fourth base is to the right-hand side. And it is set up, but there's some zealots harassing. They're going to get rid of these cannons, and well, having a pretty good time. I mean, Stalkers will come in to respond. We actually see a big warp in to the main base, or the natural expansion of Zest, which he's going to have to deal with a couple of potent overcharges. We will clean this out. We'll have to deal with the main base as well. Already warping the Stalker. We'll need maybe an overcharge, though, I think, to really clean this out, or just some more warp-ins, which he doesn't have just yet. There we go, going to warp in a lot of Stalkers, but actually he's going up against a whole bunch of Zealots warping in. Takes down the Prism. And yes, the question is, can he get rid of these Zealots easily? Well, not just yet. Losing the pile on the Forge as well is obviously painful, as he does blink back, and that will help a lot in cleaning this out, as these Zealots still having a pretty good time towards the fourth base of Trap. He's starting to lose this cannon. So cannon getting taken down. These last few Stalkers still trying to fight. I think the Zealots will actually clean out the Stalker camp, but it's not going to take many more warp-ins to clean this out, as we now see. Disruptors are again just skirmishing a little bit here. Disruptors are about to be revelated, and that is exactly what... Oh, he's actually going to hit the Revelation on some Zealots. I feel as though the Disruptor kind of set of balls here would be nice to revelate, because then you know where those Revelations, you know, where those Disruptors are at all times. Is, uh-oh, Zest! Yeah, he has to back away, can't stop the fire from there, because he just isn't on the faster upgrade, on the faster shots, but he actually loses 3 Disruptors, and suddenly, maybe this is where, you know, Trap can make a bit more of an aggressive move, but the Disruptor shot, a big one into the Stalkers, and Trap just was on cooldown, it seems. Did not blink away in time, a lot of damage taken. And Zest continue to maintain what is, again, quite a large lead, sending a bunch of Zealots around the right-hand side. They're looking to hit this fourth base once more here, while still maintaining presence on the map, down to the bottom center side, or the bottom center position. And we've seen the Oracle coming down once again. Zest setting this up as we see Stalkers moving forwards, and going to start working their way through these couple of cannons. A couple of Archons morphing in once again here, and going to be seeing those couple of cannons getting cleaned out. So cannons getting cleaned on up. Going to be seeing a Revelation coming down once again. Zealots charging forwards. Disruptor shot is going to take off. Actually, a few of those was well placed. Disruptor shot, honestly. Still loses one though, as actually Zest and his entire army over to this right hand side to try and respond to this. Zest with a lot of money in the bank, as that will actually come into play quite significantly here as the game continues. Having a lot of money in the bank will help a lot in terms of rebuilding quickly and effectively. Nice stats forward slows down a lot of these Zealots to the left-hand side as well. So that's sending a couple of Disruptors around in different locations, maybe trying to flank his opponent from positions he's not expecting, and trying to catch his opponent a little bit off guard. Disruptor will fire forwards, and unfortunately it's not going to work out for him. This Disruptor's going to be a little bit dead. Oh, but he's going to come in from this direction. He is going to get a good chunk of Stalkers, and that is why he's positioning these Disruptors like this. Nice trade once again, and again it's Trap. He's having to rebuild his army, respend his money, and not be able to build up a bank, because he's constantly having to remax basically in this game. Now he is going to start building a carrier. I'm not sure if he's really going to get the chance to build up too many of those. Zest going into a second Stargate, also a fleet picking of his own, which means his own carriers will be on the way shortly. Will he be able to get up enough, and will he get them in time to kind of counter the carriers of Trap? Well, I think so. Trap again, not in the best of economies, not in the best of banks, so he's only making one carrier at a time right now, whereas Zest would be looking for multiple carriers in quick succession, as we're going to see. Well, another cannon taken down over here. Zealots again charging in to hit this mineral line. Meanwhile, we do see this base being cleaned out, and again, just damage being done. Two Zealots working their way through this Nexus, so Nexus going down, and just going to be seeing a couple of Disruptors on the way up from Zest, still producing these, as there's actually 2 carriers now on the way from Trap, so setting up into this, will it make the difference? Well, I'm not quite sure. Units tab showing us 14 Disruptors from Trap against 5 of Zest. That's a crazy difference here. Zest has way more Archons, way more Immortals. I mean, actually, straight up on the ground, Zest's army is a lot better, but that might not matter, actually, if this carrier count starts getting up there. It's interesting that he has so many more Disruptors, I guess. Zest only losing 5 against 3, so it's not like, it's just like Zest didn't build as many, and I guess that's because he did build a lot more Immortals. As no shots coming through and just trading out there. Neither player really taking a really kind of huge shot to put them at a disadvantage. A little bit of back and forth between the players right now as they try to figure out what exactly is going on. A few TTs warping in for the left side from Trap, and let's see a few Stalkers warping in here as well. Probes will pull up to the high ground, and these DTs just moving forwards, looking to see where they can go. And we're seeing this Disruptor shot firing forwards from Trap right now, so doesn't really find anything. Zest still just in the middle of the map. Looking to see again where, where does he go next? What does he attack into next? Fact carriers are on the way up from Trap, and Zest hasn't really done much to help out with that. Doesn't really help us. Uh-oh, Disruptor shots are getting right in towards the army there, as one final one does hit quite nicely. Revelation will keep track of those Disruptors so a similar situation doesn't arise again anytime soon. And Zest just still moving through down the left side and looking to see where he can go. Revelation's trading from either player. Again, I think just the surprise carries from Trap may really turn this game around in game number 1. I mean, game 1 of this best of 5 going long. I mean, a victory here would mean so much for the kind of mental morale of these players. With a best of 5 to play with such large stakes on the line. Obviously, getting to the round of 24 Katowice for Korean players is huge because it's not a cheap trip to fly yourself out there. You see, because Trap hasn't really been able to hold this base at all, he'll continue to expand up north, so a little bit of an interesting one. I mean, again, Zest has done a very good job of kind of zone control down to the south side, making sure this base doesn't get taken. And with this base up top right, I mean, it's just going to be so easily harassable with Zealots warping in from this base and just running straight on up there. You can see already cannons going down, probes being pulled, and they're getting cleaned out. It's a long, long journey for this entire army of Trap to get up in position to defend this, so taking some while to get up there. These Zealots are just going to pull away and maybe try and come back in a little while. Another Revelation dropping down from the Oracle, and we still do just see Zest, a few Disruptors, a good chunk of army still to the left side, and here come the carriers then. And I guess this is the question, does Zest have a way to fight the carriers? Well, so far we've really seen, no, he hasn't really had anything to fight the carriers, as we see the Disruptors being targeted down. Now Zest is going to start sending a few soldiers over here. Looks like he's going to flank back around, but now he's going to get caught off guard, I think. His army is kind of all over the place, so he's going to kind of create a bit of a surround with this, but his Disruptors are going to be not really in position at all, and it is Trap who has just destroyed this army of Zest. I mean, Zest was ahead early in this game, but it definitely isn't going to look that way right now as he loses so much, and I mean, he has a lot of money in the bank, but realistically, where'd you go right now? The carriers are just going to do way too much, and Zest doesn't have enough to build enough Stalkers to really fight against these. He lost so much out on the map. He was way out of position. Trap really abusing Zest, split up the army there, and just taking the position on the right-hand side into his advantage in this series, which he can play forwards from here as we load into Varney Research Station. Up a game to the top side of the map. We are going to be starting with the red Protoss player. It is Trap. Down to the south side, the blue Protoss player. Give it up, guys, if you're cheering on Zest. What a week of end of qualifiers it has been. And again, after this series, well, we're looking at only really a couple more series available until we are finished for the day. I think if we crash out again, I'll probably just not come back, though, because I just don't think I can handle it anymore. But, yeah, it's, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm pretty tired out, actually. I didn't think I was going to be this tired. How long have we been live for? How long has this qualifier been live for? Like, 3 hours? We're on a 16-hour stream right now? I think we might be. Cybercore coming down from Zest. I mean, here on Varney, we see both players basically doing the same little wall with just one gate. It allows them to take a Nexus kind of safe, but it can also be some very fast tech to try and catch their opponent off guard. For example, Zest here has got a probe on the map, and he is starting to proxy a pylon in his opponent's third base. It's already a little bit of a interesting setup. As we do see the, well, I guess something going to build over here. Stargate will be Super Proxy Stargate then. So Super Proxy Stargate right now as Zest will really turn up the aggression for game number 2. Now, obviously this is a weirder situation, a very weird situation, because we're going to be seeing... I mean, this is what Varney kind of creates because of the in-base sort of expansion. I remember actually, I think it was Probe against Parting on Dusk Towers and DreamHack Winter Rocket Championship when Legacy of the Void just came out. I will never forget the in-base Dark Shrine and Dusk Towers when they walled themselves off and Parting just had no idea about it. It was so sick. There's the same sort of idea here on Varney. You can't really scout into the base if you wall off, and so Zest is not going to be scouted early on. You can see that really Trap has no intention of kind of preparing against this. I guess his Mothership Core is going to be on the complete wrong side of the map. So I mean that won't help in the initial defense. Neither will the fact he doesn't have any pylons in position on the left-hand side of his mineral line. His Oracle is going to hit very soon, very hard, and it's going to really suck for Trap. It's actually really going to suck. I mean, what's he going to do? Recall home, then he has one overcharge which he can put on a pylon that isn't even going to reach the entire mineral line. Yeah, this is not pretty. Oracle flies in and immediately Zest is just going to pick up a lot of worker kills. So expanding behind this too, setting up in towards that, and again these probes pull away, but I mean to where? Where are you going, guys? I mean there's literally nowhere for you to go. This Oracle picks up 6 kills and backs away. Another Oracle building. Now you're flying towards the natural expansion. Does he have some energy left? Well, he doesn't actually have Pulsar Beam still activated, so can't use it just yet. But again, it's annoying as we're going to be seeing Stalkers starting to work their way through this Mothership Core. Again, if he forces it to recall, it will mean that he's going to have to, well, he's only going to have the energy for 1 overcharges. Stalker at the front is starting to work his way through this pylon. Obviously, that's actually locked out from the base right now as Oracle coming in once again, and a couple more probes going to go down. Overcharge will pop as, Oracle getting very low, will just escape alive. This other Oracle into the natural expansion will come in as well, though, and a little bit of energy left on it to allow it to pick up multiple workers here. One last one, no, it doesn't have the energy left. 29 workers to the 25, 30 to the 25, sorry, as the natural expansion from Zest finished up, and now he starts to build a third Nexus too, so Zest turned this into some super greed PvP. Bit of a crazy moment or two here from him as he sets up into that, as, again, Robo Facility on the way down from both players. And these couple of Stalkers from Zest just working their way through this pylon. So pylon taking a little bit of damage, and it's going to be seeing the pylon going to get taken down. So he just wants to move out back basically onto the map, get his units out here. Does have his Stargate now empowered. The Oracles, you lose one of them? No, they're just not joined up together. So just waiting to kind of come back in with these and see if he can do a bit more in the next couple of moments. Yeah, and even if it's just one, one probe kill here, one probe kill there, it all adds up. Doesn't find anything with the first Oracle though. Second Oracle will come back in once again. And we see Probe does get sniped down. Nice little bit of in and out micro there by Zest just to make the most of the situation. Trap going into Blink though, and honestly, I mean the counterattack could be so potent for him, so powerful, because he's going to have Blink Stalkers against, well, no upgrades really at all from Zest. And we see, what, 3 gates on the way up in total for him? It's not many gates. Yes, Zest going up to 3 gates as well, but he won't have Blink to play with, so it will be interesting if he wants to go aggressive and go attack. And that's the one thing that will really stop him will probably be the Oracles and the threat of those just flying in towards the base again and again, but I guess that's what the Mothership Core is for. Just have to make sure it's in the right location or easy to swap bases. As you do see the Stargate about get taken down. You see a probe come into the low ground. Looks as though Trap is intending to take a third Nexus of his own, so heading towards a bit more of a macro PvP here. Once again, we see Oracles dropping the Revelation onto this Nexus. And Zest just going to be pulling away down the south side with this Oracle right now as well. So Oracle pulling away down to the south. And we've seen this Warp Prism loading up a few Adepts and seeing what it can get done as well. There's this Immortal on the way from both players now. We see the Blink is continuing to come on up here. And we're going to be seeing the Stalker continue to attack down the left-hand side. Stalker continuing to attack down the left, and we're going to be seeing the well, a couple of more units just moving forward here from Zest, doing a little bit more damage, helping to push that Stalker back. So Stalker does get pushed back right now, and you'll be seeing a Warp Prism to the right-hand side as well. Observer from Zest just sat to the north side of this base as we've seen 2 more Stalkers moving in towards the center. I mean, again, Zest had a much earlier third Nexus, and you can see the effect of that right now. 58 probes to the 45. 45 probes is 2-base saturation, and without building any more, it doesn't immediately look as though Trap is intending to saturate his third base at all here. Maybe something to fall back on later in the game, but for now, looking as though he just wants to warp in and get aggressive, go across the map and attack. Thing is though, I mean, how many gates is he on? Well, it's about to be what, like 7 against 6? I mean, that's not much of an advantage, and you know, Zest with defenders in favor here for himself. He's already equal on army supply. I mean, he shouldn't fall too far behind. He's also going to have Blink in a moment. His immortal count is good as well. I mean, I think Zest is completely fine against this of Trap. I mean, Trap is definitely committing to this fight though. Still no more probes being made. Not saturating that third base at all. Sassword will go down in the first few Stalkers here. So that's a nice little trap as well. No pun intended. But it is going to stop these few Stalkers of Trap being able to get away. So it's just a nice little way to start things off. And it means that obviously Trap will have to kind of take position, try and fight to keep these alive. They can blink away, and I guess they'll blink away to the left-hand side. Revelation will drop down to see the rest of the army. Here we go. Fights on in as these Stalkers come active once again. They'll blink back with those. Couple of force fields on both players. Kind of interesting because neither of them is really doing too much. Another status will build. Again, we'll just create a zone which will make it difficult for the for Trap to move in towards basically. As these Stalkers or Mortals. I think there's plenty here from Zest, and I think it might be time for Trap to stop thinking about just probing up and just going back home. But he doesn't feel the same way. He's just going to keep on trying to fight, and I think you can see that it's not turning out to be a pretty situation. Observer overhead, so he keeps a track of where these units are. He has a Revelation as well. Well, these force fields are interesting. But actually only one Immortal really trapped out of the equation, and well, some Stalkers again trapped on the high ground too. He could blink them down to the low ground if he wanted to, but he's just going to keep on fighting. The Warp Prism not going to go down just yet, as actually we do see Immortals being targeted down very quickly by Trap. Zest will pull some probes into this fight as well to make sure he's got enough, but I mean, I think you can see right here he's going to have more than enough. And Trap knows that he hasn't made any probes back at home. He knows he's in trouble. GG's out. Zest takes game as we speak. To the top left-hand side of the map, our red Protoss player is going to be Trap, trying to retake the lead now after he was in the lead, but unfortunately lost out in that last game. It was a pretty interesting one. Zest really just taking a lead early and just continuing to set up in a good position as the game went down. To the top right-hand side, the Blues Protoss player is going to be Zest. He is, of course, a player who just tied things up. Thank you very much, Tung. Not going to say the rest of your name for the cheer one in the chat. It's like the third time you've cheered once, so thank you. All the little cheers add up. And thank you very much for the support. As we do just look to see where we go from this point, we're going to be seeing, well, a little bit of probe-on-probe action as Trap just coming across the map to see what's happening. Is S scouted yet, or is he just playing blind? He's going to play blind, just saying, hey, whatever build I do is going to be very even, going to be very kind of fair between the two players, I guess. You know, it's just going to be the same sort of thing. God damn it, that was not what I wanted to say at all. Sorry, tiredness kicking in. What he's going to say is just like saying, well, whatever you do, I'm confident that I'm going to be able to defend it without having to scout. So it's a little bit of a confidence play by Zest. It's just saying, you know, this early scout doesn't mean anything to me. And we want to see the this probe moving out here. Zest is going to be coming down the south side and looking to see what sort of position he can get up into. Two Stalkers on the way from both players, and well, it's a much later expansion here out of Trap, although we're really yet to see what he's going to build up with to kind of justify the much later expansion. So far, nothing. What's the difference then? Just the fact that, yeah, Zest was much later on his first two Stalkers in production, so I guess it's not really that kind of late Nexus or anything from Trap. It's just Zest cut corners to take his Nexus a little bit sooner, and that is working out for him. So going to be seeing this probe just backing away. I mean, it just poked in here from Zest, and I mean, seeing the Nexus coming down is already good information, because now he knows basically that this is a pretty standard expand from his opponent where he hasn't cut corners. So he'll know he's in a slight lead, because there shouldn't be any pressure or anything that can come in to punish Zest here for that faster expansion and the lack of units. Now you do see a robotics facility dropping down. It's going to be the first tech of the game, and it's going to be a Twilight Council from Trap to the top left. So there's a possibility to see a Twilight Council from Zest as well. Now it will be intriguing to see if either player changes up their composition a bit from what we have been seeing so far, because here on Habitation it is a much smaller map. You can be aggressive from a much earlier stage, much earlier on. So that's definitely a possibility of something we could see here, as it's going to be seeing the Robo coming down as well for Trap, and Twilight coming down likewise for Zest. So again, both players getting in towards the same sort of production setup, just a little bit of a different timing on each of them here and there. I'm going to see Zest as well going into that fast forge, so really going to prioritize some of the upgrades through these early stages of this game. There's a robo facility about 75% of the way done at the moment. Twilight Council about to finish building the forge, about to finish building 2. And this robo still just chrono boosting out an observer. There's the +1, and there is about to be blink, I guess. Just needs the money for it. There's 150 gas, and he does start that up. So +1 and blink on the way. Across the map, just the blink upgrade. Again, no forge from Trap just yet. So just a few workers ahead. That earlier Nexus starting to pay off for him. And he's actually taking a little bit of a lead in army supply as well at this point. So overall, again, Zest's build was just a little bit greedier. He got away with it as well, which means he will take slight leads in the game, but nothing too crazy just yet, as the Snake Phoenix will get taken down. And we've seen the Snake Phoenix over here as well, just moving around to see what's going on and what's happening. So Stalkers joined up together in the center, and again, blink on the way from both. We're going to be seeing that Forge about to finish up from Zest as well, from Trap, sorry. So he starts up his own +1. And again, similar to kind of one of the earlier games where there was a slight upgrade lead. It is kind of nice if you can attack with an upgrade lead, but if it does go to Disruptor versus Disruptor, well, it's definitely not essential. War Prism coming in, Zest picking off a couple more probes just to maintain a very small worker lead throughout the game. Just doing this again and again, just being a real nuisance so far throughout this. Now you do see this Prism as it continues to go up towards the top left. It's going to be sat up here as we see these Stalkers getting into position as well, see what they can get up to over the next few moments. Mostly wanted to kind of get rid of this War Prism, I guess. Keep it pinned back, keep it away from his bases. As we see a lot more gates coming down right now. Zest really kind of prioritizing these gateways then, so 6 gates, just a little bit earlier than his opponent, and again, just little bits and pieces really starting to go the way of Zest. And you can definitely see this turning into a bigger advantage for him. He drops down his 3rd Nexus, which will be way sooner, and again, I wonder if he does use the 3rd Nexus, or if he's just going to act this, use this as a bit of a bait. As he does have, again, I mean, a strong army to go for, but he does start +2, so while +1 is finished for him, not really maybe looking to utilize it, otherwise he might have poured a few more resources into other units, rather than the +2 upgrade. Blink forwards, and he does pick off 1 Stalker there, so small trades again just around the map, nothing too crazy, as we're going to be seeing the 3rd Nexus. From Zest, I mean, he's going to start saturating it. More probes on the way, so that does tell us that he's not going to overly commit to kind of, an aggressive attack or anything. Prism on the way up from Trap, who also starts up a 3rd Nexus. We'll see if he wants to use his Prism aggressively with his other units, and he's going to be seeing the Stalkers, Sentries, and a couple of Immortals up this top side. Looking to see where he can get to. A few of these Sentries, a couple of Stalkers, and the Immortals. Moving forwards, it's very similar armies from both players. It's just Zest has a whole lot more Stalkers out in the front with this. And it's 2 Mortals apiece, 3 Sentries to 4, but again, the Stalker count from Zest is so much higher. That's just because Trap's Stalkers are actually towards the 3rd base slightly, so nothing too surprising. I mean, it's not as though Zest is completely outnumbering his opponent. Maybe a little bit more so now as he takes the Watchtower. And this is a bit of an interesting engagement coming up here as well, because neither player wants to attack in towards the force fields of the other. And we'll skirmish a little bit here. Zest going to kind of bait his opponent towards the tower and then turn to drop a couple of force fields. 1 Stalker falls, the rest blink away, making sure that they won't get picked off. And Trap is the first to hit the Robo base, so this time it is going to be Trap with the slightly faster Disruptors. We'll see if Zest has got a plan about that, or if he is just going to be responding in a different composition and never moving into Disruptors at all for himself. Couple of Adepts warp in here, Trap for Trap, and he will move in towards the 3rd base mineral line. I mean, 2 Adepts can get rid of probes so quickly, so he has to be very careful. As actually Zest takes an opportunity to fight on forwards. +2 isn't finished just yet, though. 6 seconds away. I mean, it'll finish soon. It'll push him into a little bit of a lead. Is it going to be enough? The force field's going to start disappearing. He's going to blink forwards, tries to get the Prism. Doesn't get it. We should get these Immortals instead. Because now the Prism actually going to be used to save the Immortals, but actually, now he can force field this ramp, and he can get rid of the 3rd Nexus. So Zest puts himself in a great position. You should really force field the ramp, right? I mean, no reason not to, I guess, unless his opponent doesn't want to try and come down anyways. So, either way, I mean, he's going to kill the 3rd Nexus in that case, and that's going to work out quite nicely for him. Yes, Zest taking some damage across the map from these couple of Adepts, but in fact, 9 kills on one of these Adepts. It's a lot of damage taken, but the reality is, what does it matter? Because he's just lost his own 3rd Nexus, and that's going to keep Zest in a really strong economic position. +2 attack upgrade now finished as well. We do see the disruptors coming out from Trap, and that is his one kind of little thing to kind of look towards here to kind of make this work for himself. Not going to be easy though, as the charge comes down preemptively and does just start to keep these adepts away already, right from the very, very start of this. So keeping those adepts away, we'll see Stalkers coming through the center once again, a couple of Immortals as well. And just pulling in over to the right hand side, we do see another adept being cleaned on out. War Prisma's going to back away, very low on health. Trap doesn't want to kind of overextend this if he doesn't have to. +3 attack coming down from Zest, and now finally the +2 starting from Zest from Trap as well. But it is everything just a little bit later for Trap, and it really does all come back to this sort of earlier kind of build order from Zest, just put him a little bit in the lead. And since then, everything really has continued to kind of be in the lead for him, as he is going to kill an Immortal here. I mean, that is one very worthwhile blink. Still no third Nexus up from Trap, and Zest has to be thinking, well, what are you aiming for? You know, what are you doing now? What is your goal? I guess the Disruptors are his kind of goal, to kind of take a good fight and to maybe work forwards from that point on. And Zest's response is going to be the double Stargate. Now, the double Stargate here is most likely going to be for the Phoenix play. Setting up into the Phoenix play means that he's going to be able to go for the lifts on the Disruptors, and he's going to be able to basically shut down the Disruptors a little bit more easily than anything else. I mean, actually, the Disruptors are something which, for a long time, no one thought there was any way to play PvP other than Disruptors. And then there was this massive phase where people were like, haha, I figured it out. Let's play, you know, let's play with the Phoenix. Because the Phoenix will actually lift Disruptors up and cancel their shots. And that was kind of the metagame for a little while. So instead of going for Disruptors, go for those sort of Phoenix playstyles. And that's kind of what we're seeing here out of Zest, a response to the Disruptors being the Phoenix. And he's going to start chrono boosting them out. He'll need about 6 in total. Again, the idea isn't to lift the Disruptors and to kill them. It's just to lift them so that their shot gets cancelled and their cooldown gets wasted. As you see, still Stalkers up towards the top side. Sentry taking a bit more damage once again and blink forwards. And we see a Stalker going down here too. 2 more Stalkers joining on up, and still looking to see what else is going on. These few units to the top side are moving around looking to see where they want to go. A few Stalkers, a couple of Immortals, the chunk of Disruptors. It's a large army here from Trap, but it's an even large army for Zest, who also has right now +3 against +1. Not taking the fight, not rushing into anything. I mean, it is scary for Disruptors on the field for his opponent. And Zest will also want to try and wait for the Phoenix to come into play so he can start lifting those Disruptors up. And that might just be right now, as here we go. Oh, first Disruptor shot does get lifted up. And that's what we're talking about, a lift, and then just cancelling the lift, as we're going to see blinking forwards. He'll just keep on lifting the Disruptors, and now he'll have to split away. First Disruptor shot doesn't really connect, just hit on a few Stalkers. I think we can just see that this is going very one-sidedly in favor of Zest. Picking off a lot of these Stalkers here. Mortals continue to move on through, and again, so many of those Disruptors picked off. The Phoenix really doing their job, very clutch at times, but it is good enough. I mean, if it's clutch, it means it's worked, right? And it has indeed worked out here. Only 1 Disruptor, 3 Disruptors left actually, and a couple more Phoenix on the way. Maybe Zest can't attack it until he does get a couple more Phoenix up, or at least some more energy back. He's coming around the left-hand side, and yes, as he comes around the left-hand side, he'll set up over here, and there's also going to be that third base, which is actually on the gold, which I don't know if Zest knows about. He doesn't, so he must start to assume that, though, I think almost immediately when he sees what's up. Still, these Disruptors are looking around. You're going to see one of them in the front. That'll go down pretty quickly. Actually going to be moving away from it, so it doesn't go down just yet. Zest making sure he doesn't get caught in an engagement that he doesn't want to be in. He's actually going to recall back home. A couple of Adepts are cleaning out his army, cleaning out his mineral line. Again, Zest Trap has been very good at continuing to harass here throughout the game. And there's little bits and pieces continuing to happen around the map. Phoenix move forwards and just hoping to try and lift up a Stalker here or something at the front. We're going to see more Stalkers and an Adept moving in towards this watchtower. Taking that watchtower now. And these units in the center here. Well, Trap is looking to see what he can get done. In the next couple of moments, we actually see some Stalkers going to jump on up in towards this gold base now. Just starting to do a little bit of something over here as we see these Stalkers coming up as well as a response. So a little bit of everything everywhere. Again, Phoenix waiting to kind of waiting for the Disruptors to be used before he really commits into this fight. And again, a little bit of a misplay by Zest. A few Stalkers out of position down to the south side. 1 Disruptor out front gets picked off immediately. Zest still on an upgrade lead as well, which for this ground-based army is of course going to turn out to be very important. He needs to lift that Disruptor right now. He just gets it before it goes off. And here we go, a big blink forward. He's going to look to lift up another Disruptor too. You can see that Trap is basically trying to kind of target down these Phoenix one at a time, but he's used up the Disruptor shots. There's 1 left over, and there's still a Phoenix in the sky. And that's going to be GG. Zest is going to take the lead for the first time this series. because there's not going to be anything left here. And that gold base is going to keep on falling down as well. GG's, and Zest picks up our players. Someone answered faster than I did. Alright, well, let's do this then. It is indeed 2-1 in favor of Zest, who spawns down to the bottom right-hand side as the blue Protoss, one map away from going to Katowice. And to the bottom left-hand side, the red Protoss player is going to be Trap. It's been an interesting one because I do feel as though Trap probably should have lost game 1 as well. Zest was definitely in a lead earlier in that game. And did get into that weirder stage where, I mean, Zest, I still think towards the end was in the lead. He just didn't take as good of a fight and didn't transition into his to kind of carriers as Trap did. Maybe just feeling he was ahead and didn't have to transition just yet, and got caught a little bit off guard by that, and also some bad positioning. So for the most part of that game, though, I do feel as though Zest was in control of it. So I'm worried for Trap because yes, he can win games, but the way these games have been looking, it looks much more likely as though Zest is going to keep on winning, right? I mean, that's the thing with StarCraft, you know, there's always that chance of, you know, Zest making mistakes and Trap taking advantage of them, but I think it really is about Zest making the mistakes. I think this is in Zest's hands to show us where it's going to go. I think it's up to Zest to kind of either win this for himself or to kind of throw it to Trap, more so than it is for Trap to try and just come in and win this straight up. Anyways, we set this up, and early on in UK Precinct, we should just be seeing the 2 gateway opening once again. And we are seeing that 2 gateway opening once again from both players, so no real surprises to kick us off into it. We're just going to be seeing this probe coming in towards the main base, and again, a little bit of a scout here early on from Trap. Zest once again saying, I don't need to scout. You know, do what you want, buddy. I'm going to be prepared for anything you throw my way. As we do see the probe just having a little bit of a nibble, a little bit of skirmish here. Nothing too special though. 2 Stalkers on the way up from both players so far. So 2 Stalkers coming in from both, and again, just seeing where this is going to go in the next couple of moments. Warp gate on the way up from both players here too. I mean, again, very standard so far. There we go, that probe getting taken down by the mothership core. This next is going to be dropping down on the natural expansion now as well, as we do see the MSC continuing to move across through this south side of the map. So coming through the south side, and again, just going to be Trap looking to apply some pressure, pick up some information, try and figure out what his opponent is doing. He's actually going to be adding on a 3rd gateway, so Trap is the player who's really looking to be aggressive here. Probe to the top side, which will probably build a pylon, and 4th gateway. It looks as though Trap is just going to rely on, or fall back towards, heavy pressure early in game number 4 to try and win a quick game and to tie the series up and take it to a 5th game. And do not forget that the loser of this does get to kind of play in the loser bracket still, and obviously it's going to be more games, but it's not completely over if if either player loses this series right now. And they both have kind of a follow-up opportunity. For these 2 Stalkers starting their way through this Nexus, and we're going to be seeing a few more Stalkers as Zest coming down the ramp, and is actually going to get some good damage and start pushing back these Stalkers of his opponent. So starting to push those back there, and we're going to be seeing again these Stalkers just sitting over to the right hand side. Nexus will finish up then from Zest, and mothership core coming across too from Trap, still looking to see what else is going on. So he's going to try and attack through the bottom side in towards the main. As you see the 4th the gateway on the way up, a Stargate as well. I mean, basically everything he needs. I mean, 4 gates and a Stargate all in one base. Thing is, Zest sees no natural expansion. He scouts that, and he's already getting ready to give up his natural expansion. He's already building the pylon on the high ground instead. He's ready to commit to the high ground. Oh, mothership core tries to recall home. Doesn't happen though. So he loses the mothership core, and that's already a nice pickup from Zest, who is still only on 2 gates, and again, definitely going to give up this natural expansion. Starts up a 3rd gate of his own, but I think the most important thing to take note of is that he has got Blink on the way, and so the whole idea for now for Zest is going to be to buy time, wait for Blink to come into play, and then he can just micro his opponent, and should just put him into a really great position. Still some heroes just set up this high ground, and again, you're going to be seeing a few more Stalkers from Trap just sat over here. You're going to be seeing a Adept making it in towards the mineral line of Trap, and Trap losing a couple of workers to that. You can see this one Dep moving through, and we'll just be taking a little bit more damage. So a little bit more damage being done. You can see this Dep chase down. He will be shot down here, so Dep going down pretty swiftly. Stalker's going to reconvene towards the front, and the Stalker's coming up the natural expansion in towards the main base. In towards the natural, sorry. Just going to clean up that pile on the Zest again, building another pile over on this side of the map. Again, as Blink finishes, I mean, he's just going to move on out. And you know what? Trap's going to be so far out of position. Or is he actually? I mean, he's actually going to see Zest coming around this side. He picks off one Stalker as it walks in, or at least tries to. Moving forwards, and again, there's that Blink starting to put him into a great position here. Blinking back, damage Stalkers, Sentry will go down. And I think we can sort of see the advantage that Zest has, blinking forwards on top of these Stalkers now. And that's just going to be GG. The aggression of Trap gets shut down. Zest gets the Blink, and with the Blink finishing, he knows he's ahead, and he will win this series.